Hello and welcome to Factorising Linear Equations with Cubic Education. In this lecture you will factorise by a common number, factorise by a common letter and factorise by a common number and letter. Okay, so first of all, what is factorisation? Well, factorising expressions is the reverse of expanding brackets. We will take an expression and put the brackets back in. Okay, so let's look at this example. We have 6x plus 24. Now, all we need to do in order to factorise this is think about what number goes into both 6 and 24. And by which number I mean the highest number that goes into both. So I know 3's go into both of those, and I know 2's go into both of those. But I know that the highest number that goes into both of those is 6. So what I'm going to do is I know that because 6 goes into both of them, I'm going to divide by 6. So I'm going to put my 6 outside of my brackets. And then I'm going to divide both sides. So 6 divided by 6, or 6x divided by 6, is 1. Okay, so it ends up being 1x. And then 24 divided by 6 is 4. And then all we need to do now is put those in here. Well, we don't really write 1x, we just write x. And then we put the plus 4 on the end. And that's it, you've factorised the expression. Okay, let's have a look at this one. We have 6a plus 9b minus 15c. So we need to think about what number goes into all three of those numbers, the highest one. Now, obviously 5's going to 15, but they don't go into 6 and 9. And 3's going to 15, and that does go into 6 and 9. Okay, so I know that I can divide by 3. So 6a divided by 3 is 2a. 9b divided by 3 is 3b. And 15c divided by 3 is 5c. So I still need to keep all my letters in there. So this is going to be 2a plus 3b minus 5c. Okay, it's only the numbers that I've divided by. Okay, let's pause the video then and have a go at a few of these questions to check your understanding. Okay, if you've had a go, let's have a look at some answers then. We have 5 and then 2x plus 3, 3, 5y minus 3, 2, 5a plus 7b, 2, 3p plus 2q minus 5, and 3, 7r plus 11s minus 2t. So if you've got all those right, well done. Let's go on to some harder ones then. So numbers are not the only factors we can divide by. We can also divide by the letters. So just then we were just doing numbers, but now we're going to move on to the letters. Now in this one I've got an expression 7x minus x squared plus 2x cubed. Now there are no numbers in here that we can divide by, because 2 and 7, well, they're both prime numbers for a start. You won't be able to divide them by anything. But we do have a letter in every single expression. Now I will just say one thing. You can only factorise if there is a common factor in all 3 terms of the equation, or 2 terms, yeah? So if it's just one with 2 terms, then it needs to be in both. If there's one with 3 terms, it must be in all 3. So if we quickly go back to our last slide, here you can see that this 3 went into all 3 of these. If it didn't, I couldn't factorise it like this. Okay, so we have now in every single term there is an x. Okay, however, there's an x in this one, an x squared in this one, and an x cubed in this one. Because the smallest term is just the x on its own, we can only take out an x from each one. If this was also an x squared, we could take out an x squared from this one, and this one, and this one, because this is higher. But unfortunately, it's just the x on its own, so we can only take out x to the power of 1, if you like. So I'm going to divide by x. So 7x divided by x just leaves me with 7. X squared divided by x means that I'm just going to get rid of one of these. So it leaves me with x anyway, because there's actually 2 there. That means x times x. So it leaves me with 1. And then 2x cubed divided by x leaves me with 2x squared, because I'm just going to get rid of one of these x's. Okay? So everything stays the same. I'm just getting rid of one of these x's here, which makes that a 2, makes that a 2. Getting rid of one of these x's here, which makes that an x on its own. And I've got rid of that x there, which has left me with 7 on its own. So now I'm just going to put those in. So 7 minus x plus 2x squared. Okay. So let's expand the brackets to see if we get the expression we started with, and then that way we know we've factorised it correctly. So this is our expression that we've got, and we're just going to expand the brackets. X times 7 is 7x. X times minus x is minus x squared. And x times 2x squared is 2x cubed. Okay, which is exactly what we got there. All right. Okay, pause the video and have a go at these 5 a little bit harder questions, and then I'll put the answers up. Okay, if you've had a go, here are your answers. Okay, right, so well done if you got all of those right. We're just going to move on to one more thing, a little bit trickier. So far we've divided by a number or a letter. Now we will look at expressions where we must divide by both. So let's factorise this expression. We have 4y minus 6y squared plus 2y cubed. Now, first of all, we've got these numbers here, and I know that 2 goes into all of them, okay? Because they're all even numbers, and the smallest number we have is 2, so that's going to be the biggest number that can fit into all 3 of those. Then there's a y in all of them, so I can actually divide by 2y. So 4y divided by 2y, well, 4 divided by 2 is 2, and then y divided by y just gets rid of it, so it's just 2 on its own, because we've took that y out and put it there. And then in this one, 6 divided by 2 is 3, and y squared, we just need to take one of those out, because we've put it there, and put just one y there. And finally, 2y cubed, well, 2 divided by 2 just gets rid of it, it gives you 1, okay, which we don't write 1y, and then y divided by the y here, so we're just going to get rid of one of those. Sorry, y cubed divided by y means that 1 goes, leaving us with y squared. So in here we have 2 minus 3y plus y squared. Okay, you can do it bit by bit, so if you wanted to just divide by 2 first and write all that out, and then divide by y after that, you can do that as well. Okay, so pause the video and have a go at these more difficult expressions. These are borderline kind of higher tier, so if you're just doing foundation, don't panic if you can't do the really, really hard ones, but you know, it's always good to learn more if you can. Okay, so here's your answers. Okay, right, I hope that was all very understandable. Please leave me any comments if there are things that you didn't understand or that I need to improve on. You can comment on the video or email me at info@cubeteducation.com. Thank you so much for using Cube Education, and I'll see you next time.